You get a lot of healers that they've gone in solitude and they're living out in the mountains in a temple. Of course, you're going to be at peace when you're out in an environment like that. The reality is that majority of people are living life in this fashion. So to place this expectation on everyone that everyone has to be at peace is very unrealistic.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the podcast Fly with Mel. I use this podcast to talk about all the personal development that we can get by living far from home. I tell some stories, but most of the time I invite people that I meet along the way to share their own. This podcast is an open door to the world because I truly believe that everyone you meet has something to teach you. So I invite you to take a seat and enjoy the flight. Hello everyone. Hi Charles.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good. Thank you for being here. I'm really happy that it's finally happening. To give you the little story, I was trying to get Charles on the podcast since such a long time, but life happened and we didn't have the time, but today is the day. So thank you first.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Charles is a holistic health coach and shadow work practitioner. I'm not going to deep dive into that. You will tell us more in a second. How are you?
Yes, I am, well, I'm everything. I'm good, bad, everything that in between. I am the whole spectrum of emotions and experiences that a human can have.
Beautiful. I couldn't say all these words, but beautiful. Thank you. Today, Charles, we're going to talk about love. This is the energy and the thing that people can feel with you. It's love. You want to spread love all around, and I love this story. And people who may know me know that I'm all about human connection, spreading the love and being more connected all together, because that's how the world would be a better place. Before we start, I know that it's great for people to just imagine a bit more who you are. Can you give us just 3 words to define you, and maybe also just where do you come from?
3 words to define me. Passionate. That's a word to describe me. What else? Very creative and curious. I was born in Sydney, Australia. Grew up in Western Sydney, and then now I'm living in Bondi. And my parents are from Lebanon. They were born there, and they came here and migrated here during the Lebanese Civil War in the 70s. And they came here when they were teenagers and set up a new life for themselves, and I am first generation Australian.
We have one thing in common, which is the Lebanese side. Maybe that's where the love comes from, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. The love with the food.
The food, yeah, especially. So I discovered you, as I said, here in Bondi through the Sunset Bondi music.
Bondi Sunset music,
Bondi
yeah.
Sunset
drums,
music.
yeah.
With the drums. So you're playing drums with your crew every sunset afternoon here. And the energy that is out there is just crazy. I remember the first time I was like, but who is gathering all these people together? Like, how come all the people just come here? They don't know each other, and they just come around the drums, and suddenly they start to dance, to laugh, to smile, to speak together. And I was like, who is doing that? Who is leading it? And then I saw you, and I saw the face, and then I checked on social networks, of course, and I was like, wow. This guy must be like just a big leader of love, and it's just like it appealed to me, because I was like, how can you gather so many strangers and deliver such an energy that is spread it all around, and it doesn't matter the age of people, ethnicity, who are these people, we don't care, everyone is just gathering together, and suddenly you start to chat with new people, and you start to make new friends, and you even dance with kids. Where did all of this come from? How did you get this idea to just take the lead in Bondi?
Yeah, so it just kind of came out of nowhere and accumulated very organically. So during the first COVID lockdown, I was working in the city at that time, and I was operating a health coaching business over there. And due to that being closed down because of all the restrictions and, everyone's kind of working at home, it was a very stressful time, because I had a lot of meaning in my life that was attached to my work, particularly in that business that I built up for 8 years, and, the money I was making from it, and, the security that it gave me. So when that wasn't there, it surfaced, like a lot of emotions started to surface from out of me that I didn't know were there. And drumming for me was just something that I was using at the time to just help me become more present and like process some of those emotions and just kind of let go down to the beach during sunset, play the drum. Like I used to just go down by myself, maybe once a week, because I was living in a apartment building. I didn't want to play my drum in my apartment and, everyone's going to listen to the drums. And I was like, no, I want to go somewhere outside in nature. And then one day I was just playing my drum and I saw another guy, like an older Brazilian guy. He was playing guitar. And then I was like, I'm a musician, he's a musician. We're walking past each other, we make eye contact. And it's like, oh, you want to play together? And then we started playing together. And then it was actually awesome jam. And it was really cool. We were just kind of playing for half an hour, getting into like these cool, just like improvising, just playing, just like speaking like this beautiful language without even saying any words. And then at the end, he goes to me, he's like, you want to meet up next Sunday and we'll play on the grass around like 3 o'clock or something. And I was like, yeah, all right, let's do it. So I get there and then he was there with his son. His son was like 8 years old at the time. Like he was tiny. Now he's like my height. It's just crazy. And it was us three just playing. So his son was playing like it's like this box kind of wooden drum, and I was playing my African. Sometimes I play the Arabic drum, and he was playing guitar, and we would just be there, us three just jamming. And then it was like that for months, where it was just like really just us three. Occasionally, someone would come and just like do like a little shaky thing for a bit. But it was us three playing, and I just used to go there just to get my mind off things. And it was cool because we kept each other accountable to go and play. But over time, it just started growing and accumulating into this, like, then someone else comes, and another musician comes, and like all these different people come. Then I'm inviting like all my friends to come and bring their drums. And then like it just started building into this like community of people. And then like obviously random people walking past and they started joining in. And then what really kicked it off is one Sunday it went viral. It went all over the like social media, people recording us because we were playing during like there was restrictions and there was a big crowd there. So everyone was like, oh my God, man, coronavirus. And, we were just having fun. And then it was all over the news, and then the news interviewed me, and the police interviewed me. I was just getting messages from like the Daily Telegraph, from Daily Mail in UK, like the UK news, wow. Channel 9, Channel 7. I had to have a meeting with like the top police guy in Waverley Council, and at the time when that happened, I was like, fuck, like shit, man, like I could get in trouble for all this. Like I knew I didn't do anything wrong because it was just like a casual thing. We just go and play, and then out of nowhere, like a big crowd came and we didn't know what to do. And, we're having fun in the moment at that time. And so I just like, what, I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, this is great for the community now. A lot of people were coming up to us drummers saying like, if it wasn't for these drums, they would have committed suicide during restrictions. It's a very stressful time for a lot of people. And I think the drums just became like a safe space for people to come and just let go and express themselves without needing to get drunk and go out to a club or a bar or something like that. Like, it was just a safe space where a lot of like-minded people were there, a lot of people who were, on their healing journey, non-judgmental people as well. So you could just do whatever you want. You could wear whatever you want. You could be whatever age you wanted to be. And you can be whatever ethnicity, religion. You could look like the drums is it's crazy. We attract people from like elderly women to like little kids, and they're all dancing there. It's amazing. So it just became a very healing experience for everyone, and now it is what it is. It's like it's got its own part. It's part of the Bondi culture, and it's part of the Sydney culture now. Like it's So it's kind of grown out of nowhere, really.
Yeah. It's crazy. I feel like everyone is just waiting for Sunday sometimes, and it's just like, oh, are you going to the drums? Yeah, we are. Everyone knows what is the drums at Bondi, which is really good. And I feel like you're now on a mission, and you're talking about healing, and that people come just, to feel better and maybe to have some smiles and also great energy. I know you're a coach and a healing coach and shadow coach, etc. Can you just tell us a bit more about your background. How did you find out this, and I guess which led you to your current purpose, which is to help people?
Okay. So I was a health coach for 8 years, mainly focusing on like fat loss, helping people with their physical body. And I got into that because that's what got me out of like a lot of my dark times when I was young. So I was heavily depressed, antisocial, anxious, aggressive, really isolated when I was in my teenage years. And training is what got me. It just gave me some structure, and it allowed me to start connecting with my body a lot more and get out of my head. And yeah, it got me off the streets as well. Like I started kind of veering towards a path that may have taken me down, like, I was getting into fights and hanging out with people that were starting fights and robbing people and things like that. And it just got to a point where I was like, yeah, nah, I don't want to feed energy into that. So I started getting into like boxing after experiencing a few fights myself where I got badly beaten. And so that was like my kind of, at the time, like my teenage mind was like, okay, I got to learn how to fight. But then that got me off the street. It taught me discipline and humbled me a lot more. Met a lot of people that were there willing to give me some time to teach me how to box. And then that led me into like doing other forms of training, and then learning about nutrition, learning about mindset, learning about, then I started going deeper and deeper into it, learning about stress. And then I decided I wanted to share it and started helping people and working with people. But one thing I realized when I was working with people over the 8 years, that people that were struggling with their health, is how there was always like a deeper underlying issue that was beneath the surface that was manifesting the poor behaviors and negative behaviors or physical health outcomes in their life. And I could see it, but at the time I didn't know how to help them with that. But I wanted to help them. Like I didn't want to just be there and be like, yeah, like here's more advice. Here's me trying to motivate you more. Here's me trying to keep you accountable more. Like there was a point where it didn't matter what I said. Like they had to face like what was deeper within them to really address what was going on. So then, when COVID hit, I was going through some stress. So then I decided to get some shadow work done on me, and then just to help me. And I was like, you know what, this is going to be good for just overall my growth and my journey. And then I just loved it. I was like, fuck, this is fucking intense. Like this is some deep shit, we're doing right now. And then I started studying it, learning about it. I've been non-stop learning about it since then, and I'm just, again, sharing that with people now. It's like gone to reached another dimension of helping people now, where it's much deeper. And I know that what I'm doing now, it's not it. Like I know that there's plenty more to learn, but this is just the next stage in my journey of learning and practicing this and helping people with this, and then eventually just going to see where else it takes me.
So you don't have a defined purpose and mission. You just like take one day at a time and just.
I think there is a defined purpose and mission. Like if I really want to think about it, it is to help people and spread love, and be a part of that collective healing that's going on in the world. But like with me doing all of this and helping others, it's helping me at the same time. So I'm learning a lot about myself, and it's a part of like a deeper purpose, which is me like finding myself, or really learning about what this whole thing is that we're experiencing right now, like reality. What is this? Like, I can look at my fingers, I can feel things, I can see things. It's just like I am this like character in this world. Like it's like, what the fuck is this whole thing? And I'm just passionate towards learning, very curious about learning about that.
would define it a bit like you want to try and tell me if I'm wrong, but to build better relationship between people within themselves first and then between each other. And where did all of this come from? Because sometimes, like some people experience death and suddenly, they survive and suddenly they start to love life. I just want to, I'm very intrigued of what's exactly, like, what's the thing which made you click, one day to say, you know what, that's it. I'm helping myself. I'm going to help other, and I'm going to just build my life around that.
I don't think it was something that clicked. I think it was something that was always there. But I think that throughout life, that part of me was suppressed for a period of time, and it didn't feel right when it was suppressed. I didn't feel me. When I was, you get conditioned by society to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to think a certain way, to act a certain way, and that didn't feel right. I didn't feel myself when I was being that interpretation of what society, culture, intergenerational conditioning and beliefs like constructs you as. It didn't sit well with me, and I knew it didn't. So for me, what this journey is about is just reconnecting myself back to who I really am, because I was someone before I learned all that stuff. I was born, and at that time I didn't know anything. It was all passed on and taught to me, but I was someone before that. So it's like the stories of society, and it's not me. It's not us. I don't think it's who we really are. It's just something that we think and stuff that we do, but it's not who we are. Like if I can think something, if I can do something, then I am something. I am someone before I think and do anything. So I'm someone before that. So always there.
Yeah.
Always there. Like I felt like just reconnecting back to that. It wasn't like a click and I'm like, okay,
that's it. But I feel like still you knew that something was wrong, I would say.
Yeah.
So how someone who is a bit, feeling a bit lost and maybe, I don't know, sad and tired, waking up in the morning without big goals and just like don't really know if something really is wrong, how someone can understand that maybe it's time now to just, reshape your life and take action?
Well, I think listening to the messages that your body is giving you, like you feeling lost, you feeling anxious, feeling depressed, you feeling sad, it's your body giving you a message right there. And the way I see it is people don't want to listen to that. People want to block it out. People want to go get drunk on the weekend, or scroll on social media endlessly, and whatever other addictions that we can form, which is very prevalent in our society now. I'd say that majority of people have an addiction that they don't even know it. And it's just because the addiction is there to attain a sense of pleasure, which is to numb pain. And that pain, that's where the cure is. It's like what Rumi said, the cure for pain is the pain. So it's like once you start inquiring about that pain, feeling that pain, looking into that pain, you're going to start to get your answers.
Is it where love play a big game?
I think so, yeah.
What is love first? Can we start from there? How would you define love in all its shapes?
I think love is the energetic vibration. It's a frequency that connects the entire universe. That's what I think love is. I think that without it, everything wouldn't be working the way that it does, and nature wouldn't be as connected as it is. We all wouldn't have like this just amazing synchronicity of how everything is connected with everything in the universe. I think that's what love is, and I think that love is a tool to use to reconnect ourselves, not only back to each other, but back to ourselves, back to the entire universe. So when there's an absence of like an experience of love within our reality, love is then used as the like the source of healing to reconnect you back to yourself and to what's true about you and to each other.
We usually say we give love out there the same way we learned to receive love, or we received love. How do we get to the point that we are having more fulfilling relationship with each other if we don't really know how to give love?
Okay. Everybody knows how to give love, all right? But the way that people give love may not be a way that is nurturing love in their own lives. Like, for example, some people may have had parents that were very strict, very cold, judgmental, place a lot of expectations and pressure on the child. The child going through that experience may not feel love, right? And the child learns through that experience with the parent that, they're not good enough. They have to try harder. They have to be perfect. And then they continue to parent themselves in that way that they were parented. So they continue to place high pressure expectations on themselves in order to continue chasing a certain outcome, to achieve something, so that that can validate for them that they are worthy and that they are good enough. And it's this never-ending cycle that never ends, and nothing's ever good enough because it just keeps happening in this loop. Now, we can look at that on the outside and be like, that person's not really giving themselves much love. We can look at that on the outside and look at the parents going, the parents aren't really giving that child much love. But the deeper intention, the positive intention behind the parents parenting that child in that way is coming from a place of love. Because the parent wants the child to be the best, good, safe, secure, stable, have enough, not be scarce, like succeed, like just all these things, so that the parents like, I just want to make sure you are going to be okay. And that's an act of love that the parent is giving the child. Now the child experiences that, feels pain, but then continues to parent themselves in that way. So the parents aren't even doing it to them anymore. They're an adult now and they're continuing to do that to themselves. They don't like it because it's stressful operating in that way. But what they fail to see is how they're actually doing it to themselves, coming from a place of love as well. So it's all love, everything that we do, but the intention behind it may not be serving us. So we may not be using that that energy in a way that's serving us and nurturing our higher purpose, which is why we have to come to the realization first of how we're currently giving ourselves love. Because it's not like you're not giving yourself love. It's just the way that you're doing it now isn't serving you. So you got to come to that realization so that then you can see like, oh, fuck, like I've actually been doing this to myself all along. And, there's no point judging me for that because I was actually coming from a good place. So that's when we can give ourselves compassion for it. It's like, I get it. Like, I understand why you're doing it. Like, it's okay. Like, rather than being like, why the fuck do I put so much pressure on myself? Oh my God. Like, that just makes it worse. Mm-hmm. When we can give ourselves compassion for that, well, guess what? We're going to give our parents compassion for that too. Because we're like, I understand why they did what they did. I understand why they said what they said. I understand. Then we can give ourselves a new truth, which is going to be like, you are worthy, you are good enough, just the way that you are. Just go out there and do your best, and et cetera, et cetera. And that whole process is an act of love, a new one, which is going to be your new belief, new truth, which is something that you can practice and reinforce to be a new way that you give yourself love.
Well, it's also, I feel like it's also about learning not to close your doors. My observation in the world right now is like sometimes you come and you want to give a lot of love to people, and you have some people are just closing their doors straight away. So they're closing and they're shutting down in front of you, but still you try to, like to just understand the person. You try to learn about the person a bit. And I feel like sometimes you can have people in front of you who are super arrogant. In my head, it's more like, okay, that person has insecurities. That person is, have pain somewhere, and there's something happening here. So I wouldn't, I would never take it personally. I would be more like, okay, what's happening here? let's try to just understand that person a bit more. But that's me. And I know that a lot of people out there are not the same. And they would be like, okay, you know what? That person is arrogant. You know what? Stay there. I'm going to go that way. You go that way. And that's it. I close the door. That's it. Done. What do you think about ego, arrogance, and people who don't trust other people?
All right, well, they're three very different things.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, your ego is just a part of us, a part of all of us that has positive intentions to keep us safe. That's what the ego is. All right. Ego has like this label, this like stereotype attached to it where it's like, oh, you know, if you got a big ego, that means you think you're better than other people and stuff like that. It's very false. Your ego is just a part of you that is analyzing certain situations, that is judging people, making judgments of people, that is being skeptical and cautious with things, that is displaying, you know, scarcity and any type of programming with the positive intention to keep you safe. And the reason why is because we're humans are animals, and we all come from this earth, which for hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years, we have evolved to survive in everything that this earth has thrown at us, from weather changes to predators to rival tribes to famines to fires to floods to this to that and the other. So our ego has, due to like our ancestors all going through all of that, we have evolved this part of us to keep ourselves safe from encountering things like this, so that we can survive, spread our genes, and continue to live. So that's a part of us that a lot of people reject, and well, they reject it in other. So go on.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say reject?
Reject. It's like I don't want you there.
The ego.
Yeah.
Mean? Okay.
Like people reject their own ego.
Okay.
So they'll like convince themselves that they don't have an ego.
Okay.
And like, you know, I don't have an ego. Everyone has an ego. Okay, it's there. It's a part of. It's like a hand. Right? Your hand has been designed and evolved to do certain things and grab certain things and carry out certain tasks. We all have an ego, right? So that's what I think about the ego.
But do you think we can hack it a bit?
Yeah, I'm going to say the word hack, but I think that it's something that we can have a better relationship with. Okay? Just think about, like, you know, you've got like as like a family member or a friend, someone who really cares so much about you, right? And they're next to you and they're in your ear, and when you go say hi to someone, they're going like, hey, I don't know about that person. You know, like they look a bit funny, you know, this, that. Like, I don't know if you should trust them. Or you're in a social situation. There's a lot of people around. You know, I'm going to increase your heart rate now a little bit and, you know, dilate your pupils, make you a bit more tense so that you can scan to see if there's anyone here that's a bit suspicious. Or you go and you're driving a car. You know, you're looking on the road and analyzing things to make sure that you don't get it. Like that person is there in your ear saying this, giving you this internal dialogue that is there to protect you. Now, it's hard to see how it's there to protect us sometimes, because sometimes it's there in our ear going, hey, you're not doing good enough. You're not worthy. You know, you suck. What was that? Why did you say that? You're so stupid. Why would you even, you embarrass yourself? But same thing, that is there with the positive intention to keep us safe from doing whatever thing that we, silly, stupid thing that we did, to prevent us from doing it again out of fear of us getting judged by others, so that we don't get rejected and outcasted by the tribe. So it's there to keep us safe, right? Now, having a better relationship with it is like, it's there, it's talking, it's you know, you might hear these thoughts, you might feel these emotions, but it's not to attach yourself to those thoughts. It's like, it's not who I am. It's like sometimes, like, sometimes I'll walk down the promenade on Bondi and I'll just be in my own world and I'm like, you know, I'm kind of happy to just like not talk to anyone. Someone will walk past me and it's someone and I'm like, straight away, I'll have thoughts. It's like, oh, fuck, here we go. I have to talk to him. Yeah, this is my ego going, oh, fuck, you got to talk to him because if you don't talk to him, they're going to judge you and they're going to think that you're rude. And if you're rude, well, then you're not going to be a nice person. I have these thoughts. People may have this expectation of me because I do shadow work and meditation. Like, oh, Charles, you must be super peaceful and love all the time. Fuck no. Fuck no. Because I know that that's just a part of me and it's okay that it's there. If I was going to reject it and try and be this enlightened being all the time, I'm rejecting a big part of me. It's not who I am, but it's just a part of me. So when I am walking down and if I hear these thoughts, I'm like, okay, his thoughts, this isn't who I am. Like, I understand how you're there because you don't want me to get judged by this person, but hey, I can just wave at this person, like, hey, have a nice day, and just keep fucking walking. And it's okay that I did that. So that's a very simple example, but how having a better relationship with your ego can reduce so much stress in our lives. Because people listen to these thoughts and they're like, oh my God, that's me. Like, they think that that's actually them. It's like, no, it's not you. It's just your ego trying to keep you safe. But yeah, trying to really seeing its positive intentions, that's where shadow work comes in, helping you understand your ego.
How would you build this? I'm just intrigued now with the ego. How can we build? Where do we start to build a better relationship with our ego?
I think observe something in your life right now that isn't serving you. Something right now that, from your perspective, is like, yeah, that, you know, the way I felt there, the behavior that I did. Just inquire about something in your life right now that currently isn't serving you, and then go deeper into it. And the deeper you go into it, you'll begin to understand it. And it is challenging doing that because our ego doesn't want to be faced with the harsh reality of what you actually believe about yourself deep down. Very undesirable beliefs that you have, these subconscious beliefs that society told you, you
don't do that.
Don't think that way, you know. Which is where I come in, because essentially what I do is guide people into their subconscious mind so that they can understand it.
Is it a work that we can start doing alone, or do we need help?
Look, I think getting help isn't a bad idea. Mm-hmm. You know, if people think getting help is a bad idea, well then I think you're limiting yourself to excelling and progressing much faster on this journey than you could if you feel like you need to be independent and do it all yourself. I'd say that's your ego getting in the way there. Because if you get help from someone else, then that means that you're weak and you're not, you're not strong enough to do it on your own. And this is, again, adaptations that we can form in childhood where we had to be the responsible one and the overly responsible one. Or if we weren't, if we were getting neglected by our parents, so then we had to meet our own needs. So we had to build this independence, and that caused us to have a lack of trust with other people. So these are all things that can create walls around us just being vulnerable and open and being like, hey, I want to explore this. But at the same time, you can do shadow work on yourself. You can, but in order to learn how to do shadow work on yourself, you still got to ask for help. So either way, you got to ask for help. It really depends on how much help you want to gain. It's like walking into a gym. You can see a personal trainer and you might just be like, hey, look, can you just show me how to do this machine now? I just don't know what that machine is. Cool. PT will show you. There you go. You now know how to do that machine a bit because the PT spent 10 minutes with you. Mm-hmm. Or someone might go up to a personal trainer and be like, can you train me for 6 months? I want to learn how to use all the machines so that when I walk into a gym and I want to learn how to use them regularly and often and build up and how to follow a program and correct technique and get recorrected to break any, habitual movement patterns that I have that is not affecting my body in a positive way. All right, after 6 months, you're going to learn a lot more. Mm-hmm. Really depends on how open and vulnerable you're willing to be to accept more knowledge in your life.
same way we accept to have help. So that leads me to ask you exactly, what do you do? How do you help people in which area of life do you help them?
Yeah. Okay, so
I know you do a lot of things, so feel free.
So the main thing that I do is I'm the co-founder of Tribr. Tribr is an online holistic health coaching program. It's a community of people that are all on the healing journey together. The main thing that we focus on in Tribr is shadow work. So I've got a team. There's a few coaches where we guide people into the subconscious mind and anything that currently right now in their life that isn't serving them, maybe stress, anxiety, bad habits, just like struggling to set boundaries, struggling to speak their truth, perfectionism, people pleasing, anything that on the surface of their life that isn't serving them could be manifested and expressed in all different sort of ways. What we do is we create a safe space. We hold a safe space. We've created a culture within the community, which is all like non-judgmental. Everyone's on this path together. And we guide them deeper into their subconscious mind by asking them questions. So we're not there to give them answers. We just ask them questions. We make them we guide them to feeling safe so that they can open up more and more and more, and these walls can start to drop down, to get them to the point where they can make deeper links of where the origin of their struggles come from, and how that links into childhood mainly, because that's where your subconscious mind is formed from the ages of 0 to 7. From there, it's just running on autopilot. So to get people to really understand their foundational programming, and then from there, create space for healing and transformation. And this is where that's where like the next step of healing begins. So we encourage people to let go and express their emotions, and be there to rewrite the story of what their past really means to them, so they can perceive it in a different way. Because we can't change what happened, but we can change what it means to us. And that's essentially what I do. And along with that, we help people with their physical health, because everything's connected. We can get people doing shadow work all day, but if they're still, eating highly processed foods and not getting outside nature, not moving enough, not exercising, and it's makes the journey much harder, because shadow work, it's highly conscious behavior, like really going inside, like you're practicing consciousness doing that. You're stepping away from your autopilot subconscious, just operating like, this is just who I am. I do this habit, then I do that habit, and then you just day by day, and then you're stepping out of that, and from a conscious perspective, looking at your subconscious life from an outside perspective. So you see that it's actually not you, it's just something that you do. So to do that, it uses up a lot of energy, which is why we mainly focus on using our subconscious, because it's more energy efficient. But being conscious uses up a lot of energy. So in order to really gain more energy to focus on that, got to eat better, got to exercise, got to get outside nature, got to sleep well, got to boost up your energy levels so that you can direct it towards doing this highly conscious work, so you can go inside. And that's the struggle with a lot of people now. A lot of people can benefit from going inside and doing this work, but their energy levels are just so poor that it makes it really hard for them to direct to go inside, because people are addicted to coffee and alcohol and social media and food and sleeping. Lack of sleep is a big issue now, or even just people being open enough to trust people, because loneliness is such a huge thing right now, and people generally become more suspicious around others and struggle to open up and be vulnerable because they're running that because they're lonely. So a lot of different factors now that make it harder, but it's all part of the journey.
I have a question about that. I guess when you go back a bit, deep inside, you also have to face suddenly your trauma and the things that you wanted, to escape and to hide and to just forget. I feel like it can be really hard to be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna face them. You have them suddenly back in front of you, and I guess you can, they can start to come back again. And I think it's something that we can be afraid of before going to see a healer. It's just to be able to say, okay, everything that I try to, hide under the carpet over there is going to come back, and I will have to say, okay, now it's time to face them. What's the advice you would say to people who are like, they want to heal, but they're afraid of the whole process?
Yeah, I understand that. The advice I would give is, well, first of all, the question of is not facing that trauma, your past, or whatever's there that's been buried, is not facing it making your life better or worse? And do you want to take that risk of not facing it and just continuing to run on autopilot and keep doing the same thing that you're doing now, feeling the same way that you're feeling now, same behaviors, same perspective of reality? Would you rather that, or would you rather face it and have an opportunity to change it? So I think there's that question. And then the other advice I would give, which is more practical, would be, it is a challenging journey. Coming to realizations of our trauma and how things in our past actually affected us is traumatic. It's like, what? Santa Claus isn't real? What? You mean everyone lied to me for all those years, and that present I got every year was not from this man that really loved and cared about me? Oh my, it's traumatic coming to the realization of making the links to how your past was actually traumatic. Mm-hmm. And what makes an experience traumatic for us is lack of support, struggling to be seen and heard, being judged, not receiving the love that we need throughout that time. So that's what makes it an experience traumatic. Now, going inwards and doing this work, it is going to be resurfacing this trauma, which is why you got to find a community, you got to find people around you where you can feel safe to open up to receive that support. Because then that's when you're going to be introducing a lot of love into your life, and you're going to be learning how to give that to yourself too. How to be kind to yourself when you're feeling emotions. How to let yourself just cry. And it's like, it's okay that I cried. It's not the end of the world that I just cried. I'm not weak and not enough because I cried. Like, it's okay. Learning how to have a better relationship with your emotions. So I'd say my advice, find some good people around you that can facilitate it and guide you through it. That can be hard for people to have access to now. Just like good people that can just not judge them while they're going through it, or not try and fix them. That's a big thing as well. Like, someone just opens up like, this is what I'm going through. I'm feeling sad. And then the other person's like, oh, this is what you should do. You should do this. It's like, man, like, just be there to be like, yeah, look, I understand how you can feel that way. It's okay. You feel that way. Just have people that are going to be there to listen to you, not try and fix you. Because, you're not broken. There's nothing, so that's what I encourage. Yeah.
Some people can be they take action and they start their journey of healing with you, for example. So they decide to suddenly open up to a coach. They start the process. Everything starts, they open up and everything starts to be a bit maybe better in their life. Do you think that it's still like a long journey? It's a life journey, or do you think we can be fixed, kind of? And I know it's not the right word, but fixed after seeing a coach. How would you? What would you say to people who are trying to heal?
I wouldn't. I don't like using the word fixed because it implies you're broken. I think when people come to see me and they start doing this work, it's more encouraging them to see this as they're coming to me to understand themselves more. They're coming to me to heal, but they're coming here to learn tools to use for the rest of their life.
Okay.
Because me now, like, all right, I've transformed a lot from where I used to be, and I'm radiating more love, and my relationship with myself is so much better, and all this. But I don't know what the future is going to hold. There's going to come a time where I'm going to be faced with new challenges, and I'm going to learn a lot more about myself, and that kind of other stuff is going to resurface at that point from my childhood that I didn't know was there. It's very I think the ego likes to think like, okay, I'm fixed now I'm all good, but really what that does, it just closes you off to more growth that you can continue to have. So it's never ending in my eyes. I never see it end, and I like that it's never ending, because for me it means never ending growth and evolution.
Sure.
Like, why do I want there to be an end? And like, okay, now I'm fully fixed. Like, when have like humans ever been like that ever? Like, we're a species that, and just like every other species on Earth, that likes to evolve and grow and change and create this, and everything that we see now in all of its beauty has, like, even trees, like the way that they spread their seeds and grow their leaves in order to accumulate sunlight and absorb water. Like, it's all been from that desire to grow and evolve. So I think that, the moment where I think like or anyone that thinks that they're fixed and it's like it's the end, well, I think you're missing out on
something.
Just a big part of life, just in general, what life is. So that's my relationship with it. I like how there's, like, now I know there's a lot about myself that I don't know, and I'm just excited for when it's gonna come up in my awareness. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Oh my God, that time when that happened when I was a little kid affected me. When, like, it's gonna come up when I eventually have kids. When I'm in a committed relationship with someone. When death happens in my family, when other global issues that come up that are really starting to affect my life, and
But don't you feel that it's a bit overwhelming sometimes? Just to take everything that you just said, I'm gonna share just a quick personal story here. I'm working a lot on myself, doing a lot of self-development, seeing coach, etc. And I know I'm different. I'm not the same person. I don't have the same habits. I don't have the same thought. Everything. And after doing all of this, after it's been, I would say 4 years, okay, I was facing lately a hard situation in my life. And suddenly I felt like all my work didn't help me on anything. Suddenly I was super stressed. Even my family was telling me, like, but you used to be super positive for the last 4 years. Like, you were strong, you were showing up, you were like different, etc. Where is it? Where is all of this? All of the things that you're telling us to be and to become? Where is it? I couldn't really handle myself. Like, my stress was high, my heartbeat was high for like I don't know, 1 week. I lost weight in 2 weeks. It was crazy, and I was even more upset with myself because I was telling myself, you did all of this work on yourself for such a long time, and you're not even able to just face a hard situation now. What's happening? What's going on? And as you were just saying, it's like, then you calm down, everything calm down, and you're like, oh, no, okay, this happens because of that and this and that, and I finally handle the situation. But it's like, wow, I still have so much to learn about myself. It feels a bit like scary, it feels like, wow, when is all of this going to an end, kind of, or when am I going to be at peace, at least when a new hard thing is going to come into my life? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share my observation on that. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
What did it mean to you that you weren't at peace when that challenging experience came up to you? When your heart rate, stress, lost weight? What did it mean to you?
It meant that all the work that I thought I've done on myself didn't work.
Okay. If all the work that you thought that you did on yourself didn't work, what does that mean about you?
That maybe I didn't work enough on myself.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. if you didn't work enough on yourself, what does that mean about you?
That I was lying to myself, thinking, oh, that's it, I'm done.
Okay, yeah. If you're lying to yourself, what does that mean about you?
That maybe I'm escaping from something and I'm denying something.
Okay, if you're escaping from something and denying something, what does that mean about you?
What does it mean about me? That there is something I should face.
Okay.
Without escaping all the time, which is
Okay.
not, I don't know what it is.
Okay. Now, when you're there and you're like, there's something I should face, I don't know what it is. What does that mean about you as a person? How do you feel about yourself as a person?
That I'm just a human. I'm just a human like everyone else. We all have like struggles and we all have pain, and it's okay. And I should tell myself it's okay.
So that's what you were feeling when you were struggling in that week?
Well, yeah.
That's what you were telling yourself?
I was like, come on, like it's fine. Like it's fine. Like stop like having all this thought. It's okay. And also, and the other voice was telling me, you're not strong enough. What are you doing?
So that voice there, that's the one I'm inquiring about now.
Okay.
The one that's telling you you're not strong enough. Because you're telling me logically now, like, yeah, you know, it means I'm a human. But you struggled for a week. So essentially there's something there that dug a bigger hole for you, right? And just from my observation, it sounds like you were placing high expectations on yourself.
Yes.
That when you're faced with a challenge, that you should be at peace. And it sounds like you got it from your family, because your family would be like, what happened? You were super positive for 4 years. How come you can't handle this situation? So that you're receiving judgment from your parents there, or from your family, whoever said that to you as well. Rather than you just rather than you going through what you went through, and it's like, yeah, I'm stressed. Yeah, I'm anxious. And I understand why I am. And it's okay that I am. And I don't need to be at peace through a stressful situation. Because it's perfectly valid why I feel stressed. And that's okay. That much better than why am I at peace? I'm not strong enough. I haven't been working hard enough. And that's a big thing that I work with my clients with. That's what I would label an ego trap.
Okay.
It's like your ego's trapping you, thinking that like you haven't been doing good enough on your healing journey, which is why you're stressed out right now.
Okay.
How does that sit?
It's great. It's yeah. Thank you for the little session. I'll think about it a bit more. But yeah, it sits well.
It's like the beginning of this year. It's been very stressful for me. Moving house. My dog got into a fight with another dog. It was potentially going to have surgery. One of my other dogs, 17 years, died, passed away. My mum got an injury. You know, it's global. It's stressful. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I have to be super peaceful and calm with all this shit. No. My dog just died. My other dog just got into a fight. Like, I got to move house and sell all my stuff and had 30 days notice to do so. It's okay that I'm stressed. It's fucking normal to be stressed in these situations. I'm not going to try and act all positive throughout it. That's bullshit.
You know what? It's weird what I'm gonna say, but it sounds really good to hear a healer saying that nobody is gonna be at peace 100% of their life, and it's okay, and everyone is struggling at some point. Because sometimes, you know, when especially when you're lost a bit or struggling with life, when you have coaches or healer, you can see them as like, oh, my God, like these people know how to handle and how to master peace. You know, like it's kind of the image that we can have when we are not in this kind of self-development journey. So just hearing someone like you telling us, no, it's normal. It's just like...
I think that's bullshit. I think that a lot of the people, you get a lot of healers that, you know, they've gone in solitude and they're living out in the mountains in a temple. Like, of course you're going to be at peace when you're out in an environment like that where you don't have kids, wife, like a family, you know, you're working, trying to provide for them. Like, the reality is that majority of people are living life in this fashion. So to place this expectation on everyone that everyone has to be at peace is very unrealistic. And another thing with that perception on how we can view people in that way, this is another thing that I teach my clients, is not to idolize anyone and not to idolize me. I don't want to be your idol. Idols are false representations of perfection. Idols have been used all throughout history, like certain gods and emperors and celebrities now, politicians, gurus. We look at these idols and we're like, fuck, this person's got all their shit together. They know how to, be
It's
peaceful
exactly that.
and calm. It's fucking bullshit. Telling me no one's heart rate ever elevates sometimes. It's going to elevate. Stop trying to control it. Just let it happen. It's okay that it happens. It's part of a human experience. I think this whole self-work world has been sold this fake persona of being this perfectly balanced fucking being at every single moment, at every time. You placing that expectation on yourself is only the same way that someone can place an expectation of themselves to have super low body fat and they put photos of them on their fucking phones. That's the fitness model that I want to look like. You can do that the same with this whole enlightenment thing. I want to be enlightened like Buddha.
Thank you. Thank you for these words. I think it's very important to have them. So thank you, Charles. I think we're going to wrap up soon. It was a lot of things. Do you have a last thing to say about love and how we should just love ourselves maybe and spread some love, but just a last advice that you would give to the world?
Take the should out of that.
Okay, we'll keep that. How can someone find you if they want to work with you and come to see you?
You can follow me on social media. I provide a lot of content around this stuff. It's my name, Charles Myssy, MYSSY. You can follow me there and just get a bit of a vibe of how just my message. You can also connect with me on Facebook. Same thing, it's my name. If you do want to get more in-depth sort of understanding of what I do run workshops, which are advertised on my social media. You can go down, come to a workshop, and I go in a lot more detail of all this stuff. And you can get an idea of what's involved with shadow work. I've actually got a workshop on the 3rd of May, which is going to be on masculine and feminine energy. You can attend that. Otherwise, you can send me an email at charles@charlesmyssy.com.au. You can just send me a DM, or even if you just have any questions about anything, you just come and ask me. Just a simple question.
Can we come and say hi if we see you on the promenade?
Nah, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you, Anna.
That's it. We know it. For anyone who is listening and he's from Bondi, don't talk to Charles.
No, of course
you
can. Yeah. No, look, I love people. I'm very social, and this is the label that society gives it. But I am quite extroverted, so I'm generally very open to having chats. Sometimes I just have too many of them, and I'm like, fuck. There goes 2 hours. I was like. I said to myself that I'm going to do all these things in my day. I'm like, how am I going to have time to train now? You know what I mean? So it's just having those boundaries there. Sometimes it's a quick chat. Sometimes it's a hi. Sometimes it's a head nod. Sometimes it's a deep conversation about the universe.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. We won't take it personally next time. Thanks a lot, Charles, for sharing this space. It was a really good conversation. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you.
See you next time on Bondi or anywhere else. Thank you.
Thank you.